Sophie's here, back with another tutorial. This time, it will be about how to start creating your manga. In the previous video, we spoke about how to write a manga story with setting, character, and plot. In this video, I will show you how to storyboard and prepare your pages for drawing. Then I'll show you a quick demo of the steps required to complete one panel. In order to draw the storyboard, you need to have Chapter 1 script ready. But I find it really hard writing what's in every page without visualizing it first, so my process becomes something like this. I draw my ideas, read them over and over, then write down the script. Then do the actual revised storyboard, usually on the same digital page. This is an example. After completing the sketches of all the pages, I review them with my co-author, then start drawing. Okay, let's go through the basic beginning steps. Let's discuss how to prepare your pages for both online or in print publishing. First thing you do is click on File and then New. Then choose the format. So the first one is illustration, then you have a webtoon format. The next three are all for comic or manga. And the final type is for animation. Here I'm using my iPad Pro and the program is called Clip Studio. Let's first go for digital publishing. I've adopted the new size for my online manga, the moral scale. I have used B4 size in Chapter 1, which was a little big for MANGA Plus Creators by SHUEISHA's submission platform. I needed the dimension to be 2560 by 1920, so I converted it to millimeter. We won't need the bleed, so it doesn't matter here, but I'll explain what that is later in the video. I like to go with gray expression. It results in smoother art. Here is the difference between a black and white and gray expression illustration. I also like to go with high tone frequency, but that can be adjusted later. Pick the number of pages and then press OK. Then we need to adjust the inner border. From Story, click Change Project Settings. You can decide on how big or small you want your inner border to be. Here I minus 70 millimeters from the actual size. If you're planning for a print publishing, these are the settings I have used. Just make sure when you export you choose to inside of crop mark and that will be the right size. Now that we have our page ready, how do we start? So from the top menu, go to Layer, New Layer, and click New Frame Border. Default line width is 15, I will make it 20. Then use the Frame Border tool to divide the frames. In the tool property, you can choose to snap angle at 45 degrees, which means drawing only straight lines. You can also do slanted lines when you turn it off. In the tool property, you can also choose how much space you want when dividing the panels. The software already creates a folder for each panel and applies a blue mask so that you draw only within these frames. Let me explain why in traditional printing and publishing, you need to include bleed. So the red frame includes the main items of the page. This has to be consistent in all pages. It's where the box lines should end so that when someone is reading your manga, they align correctly. It's also called the main image area. All text must be inside this box. So if this page was supposed to be printed, I'd have to move this text box a little bit down, which I will show you in a minute. The second frame is the printing trim border. This is where the printer will cut your page. But since printers are not exact at cutting the page in mass production, you need to draw beyond that line to avoid any mistakes. The extra area in green is called the bleed. There are different sizes depending on the printer. So the area here in gray will be cut. This is what the final page will look like. The inner frame in gray is the area where we should not keep any important things or words. So if I were to print this page instead of posting it online, I'd have to move this text box down here. In this quick demo, I'll show you how I use layers to create a drawing. I first start with a rough sketch of the character. This is Emily from the Moral Scale manga. You can read my ongoing manga series on MANGA Plus Creators by SHUEISHA. It's a newly launched platform by SHUEISHA for sharing manga that is linked to MANGA Plus. MANGA Plus is a site that publishes famous titles like Naruto, One Piece, and Spy Family as they release in Japan. They also offer priced monthly awards in English and Spanish, with winners getting the chance to be published on Jump Plus. I put the link to the web and app in the description, so thank you for supporting me on MANGA Plus Creators. So after completing the sketch, I reduce the opacity of the layer, and on a new layer, ink the drawing. I used a pen that I have downloaded from Clip Studio Assets. I had to download so many pens until I found the one comfortable to use. I also used the bucket tool to fill all black areas when inking. It makes drawing much faster. Emily is Yota's love interest. They met in a tech fair as she works in high-tech material company by making heavy-duty clothing. She made Yota's lab coat, and since then, they've been going out. You might be wondering, wait, is this the reincarnation of Leah, my previous main character? Well, she does remind me of her, to be honest. The next tool I use is the gradient tool. Make sure it's set to manga. This is my favorite tool. I use it all the time, almost in every page. If I needed darker shadows to the clothing, I usually fill in black and then reduce the opacity of the layer. I don't always use tones. There's something in manga style that I always find fascinating. There's a beauty in black and white drawings that is really inspiring. The more you practice, the more magic you can create with these tools. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. And if you've read The Moral Scale, let me know who's your favorite character so far. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.